We already have the RFP out there for the website, and I think we have already selected a company to do that.
Okay.
So between now and I say by the end of the year, we should have something up on our web to allow businesses to do that. But in the meantime, they can go to our housing website and sign on, and with our contractor application, submit a contract application in our housing department to start work with them until we get the registration process in place.
Okay, and I might tell you we have some great certified companies here with the city that we certify, so
yes,
always look at that list too.
Yeah, well, you know what, come to think of it, since diversity is new, on our website we do have an area called diversity, and in that we do have your website, we have the city's website, we have the state's website, and we have Columbus Diversity Bridge website.
Okay.
And we put that out there not only for our staff to use, but for anyone to use looking for minority and disadvantaged businesses.
Okay, great. We were kind of mentioning some of the current projects coming up. Is there any more out there that you want to talk about? Any current projects that maybe people should be looking at?
Because of the type of service we are, they just sort of, we had the website, we had an RFP out there for the website, we had an RFP out there for audio-visual needs
right.
for our State of the Region, which is in April. We may be putting something out there for a video, to produce a video for that State of the Region. But then we have events further along in the year. We have our Summit on Sustainability. So, that's in, I think that's in October. So we will be putting things out there, but we do have an RFP, RFQ area under About MORPC on our website that we always post our RFQs or RFPs, or they can send me their information and I just make sure that they'll get a copy of the notice. If they're interested, they get a copy of the notice stating we're seeking this type of business or this project.
Now, what about, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of startup firms out there. Does MORPC offer any type of grants or anything to help them do business? I mean, I know you mentioned grants and these are probably bigger funding, but I'm always getting the question, is there any money out there to help us regarding training or anything?
Well, not as of yet.
Okay.
But, if we've identified that that's a need, then maybe we can go after that to do that.
Okay.
But currently, we don't do that. What we would like to do, however, is we would like to offer like some sort of workshop in the future to our disadvantaged businesses to let them know or to show them how they can do work with MORPC.
Okay.
And what that will do a number of different things. One is that hopefully it will help with timely payments. If they provide the documentation that we need in order to make sure that they receive their payments timely, and they just need to know what that is. And then our staff needs to know what to ask of them to make sure that they receive. Everything is in order, the documents are there in place so that they're not waiting 60 or 90 days to get paid.
Absolutely. And again, once you put that together, if you need the city's assistance, the Equal Business Office, we believe in a regional approach, so we'd love to assist with that.
Great. I will be calling you on that.
Okay, good.
Great.
Have a great question here. As far as developing partnerships, is MORPC focused? It sounds like you're focused on partnerships. Is that
yes,
true?
We are.
Talk a little bit more about that.
We value relationships everywhere. And I think that, it may be the nature of the beast, the fact that we are a regional planning commission, the fact that we are an association of so many local governments, and relationships do a number of different things. One area we identified was the fact that whenever you do business with a new company, you're not quite sure about the quality, and so if you have a relationship with that company, or if you know someone who has a relationship with the company, that will help us get over that hurdle as to whether or not they can perform, according to the standards that we need, or whether or not they have the scope or the scale or the size to be able to do the type of business that we need. And so, we form relationships every place that we can because it just makes sense. It helps us identify the needs in the region. It helps us bring people together so we can work through some of those work through some of those challenges and issues that are out there. So not just in the area of diversity, but in so many other areas as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have it's a plan that you put together. It's a public improvement plan?
Yes.
Kind of explain a little bit about that.
Actually, it's a public involvement plan.
Okay.
And the public involvement plan is a plan that drives the public involvement process for our transportation plans and programs because of the investment of our transportation funding dollars. It's huge. It's 77 million is just MORPC, but when we're all done, it could be well over $2 billion. It's important that the public is allowed to provide input as to where those dollars go.
Mm-hmm.
It's taxpayers' dollars, so they should be allowed to say, well, can you put some money here? And what this does is, number one, it tells the public that there is a process, there is a plan, so that you can provide input into where these dollars are spent, number one. Number two, it tells the public, well, this is how you can become involved. This is how we're going to reach out to you. So we're going to not only reach out to you, everybody wants to use the internet, but we do know a large fraction of this public don't use internet.
True.
True.
So
how are we going to reach out to those people? We want to make sure we reach out to businesses. We want to make sure that we reach out to everyone because, if these are their dollars as well, and say, tell us, what do you think? It includes transit, includes CODA's information. It will start to include DATA's information, which is the Delaware Area Transit Authority in Delaware. And it includes all the local communities. It includes the City of Columbus's information, Whitehall, Westerville, all of them. All of their information in Delaware and Franklin County, our planning area, is in there. And anyone can comment and say, and sometimes they do, special and very controversial projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it does. It directs that. It tells the public, this is how you can be involved. Take any one of these levels. If you just want to send us something through email, regular mail, call me on the phone, have me come out and meet with your people, we'll do it all. It doesn't matter. And no matter where it is. It can be in the rural areas, it can be in your home, it can be around your table, it can be at city council. What's important is that we reach out and they tell us what they're looking for and they tell us what they want.
There was a great quote by, I think it was Sam Walton. He talked about high expectations is the key to great results.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have, obviously you're a woman who has high expectations and you expect success. So what do you see in 2013? What do you want to achieve?
Well, in 2013, it's this is a new area for us. Mm-hmm. It just is. Yeah. And one of the things I hope to see is that I wanted to make a difference. Mm-hmm. Because of the recession. Yes. I always get statistics on where our diverse populations are in the way of jobs, in the way of aging. We know that, the baby boomers are getting older. We know that they need ways to get around once they get older. We know that, the middle age is going to be thinner, smaller, but they're the income producing age for us who are getting older. We realize that a lot of the diverse populations, there's a high percentage that's not graduating from high school, but they could potentially be our leaders in the future.
Absolutely.
So what can we do to help?
Right.
How can we assist our future generation in providing a place where we would want to live, work, and raise a family. And by doing that, it's great that you give the big companies, the business, the large companies, business is great. But the small businesses, there's so many more small businesses.
Absolutely.
Can we give them, so that they can send their kids to college or send their kids to trade school or somewhere. And it's important that we lift them up as well and not just continue to support the large companies. They're important too, but the little guy is important just as well. So I want to see if it can make a difference.
That's admirable, and that's what we're all trying to accomplish. And they talk about small business is the economic engine of this country. There's no doubt about it in this city.
Doubt, right.
And so we've got to find a way to do that.
We have to find a way to do that. And we know they have challenges. So it's like, let's put your challenges on the table. That's what public information does. That's what public involvement does, is say, put all the obstacles on the table and let's work through them. they have challenges. Let's put them on the table and let's work through them.
Okay,
See
so,
what we can do.
so I'm a small business, a minority business, and I want to do business with MORPC. So I'm in my car, drive down to your facilities. What do I need to do?
Well, if you drive down to our facilities, you need to meet with me.
Okay.
And what that will do is I will get your information. I will get information on what service or product or good you have to offer us. So I know where to place you. So I know what programs or what departments in our area would be interested in your services. That's the first thing. The second is just ask you, are you on any of the other registers? Are you registered or certified with the city? Are you registered or certified with the state? What about the Diversity Bridge program? Because my people, my staff are going to go to those places and look for you. And if you are there, is your information current?
Yes.
Is your website current? Is your telephone number? Does it work? And also, do you have keywords there? If there's a blank and I don't know what it is you do, I'm not going to contact you because my time is valuable too. So, go through there periodically and make sure that information is current so that when I'm looking for you, I can find you. I want to be able to find you. I want my staff to be able to find you. I want anyone looking for whatever it is you have to offer, I want to be able to find you. Case in point, Eco Summit. We help Ohio State, we help host Eco Summit where we had over 1,500, possibly 2,000 people from around the world come to Columbus for Eco Summit. And we wanted to, I wanted to do some diversity spend. And it's probably my fault. I don't know if it's a fault, but by the time we got to the part about, isn't there something that we can, help our diverse vendors participate? I was like, okay, maybe they can supply us with our t-shirts, 2,000 t-shirts, or t-shirts for our volunteers. And so we put that, I went through the list and I put it out there. And for some reason, it just didn't work out for me. Either their email addresses didn't work, their telephone numbers didn't work. Either they didn't have the capacity to do that large number of t-shirts. I was like, come on, it's t-shirts. So that tells me that, all right, maybe I have to start a little bit earlier. Maybe, I don't know how far back. Maybe I need to start soliciting 3 months in advance, maybe 6 months in advance, just to get them there and get them ready. And then maybe work with them to make sure that whatever we need, whatever they're giving us, we can work through it. And that's why I say, like some of our events, our Summit on Sustainability, Riverfest, we always have t-shirts. But it's just t-shirts. I mean, just think about all the other things that were there. Printing needs, transportation services. I had brought in students from black colleges and universities, and I had to find a transportation company that would take them from the airport to the hotels and back, not only here but also in the city and state that they were coming from, and just working. It's like, well, are you diverse? Well, no. It's like, okay, so it's important to be visible, and to let us know what are your goods and services, and then we'll just work through it and see what other challenges there may be out there.
And some of the challenges you were mentioning again. That was a true green opportunity, green, and you're talking about procurement forecasting and looking out like that.
Yes.
So, and more and more companies need to do that. We're implementing a new tracking system called PRISM, which will help us in our procurement forecasting and all. So, I may
want to take a look at that.
Okay.
Too.
That'll be wonderful. But I applaud your effort again. You're taking a real initiative to step out and let folks know what you want to accomplish.
Yeah. And with our housing department, if I just did an open house or attended an open house where they did a new build, not a remodel. They did a new build. I mean, just look at the opportunities that are there in that new build. Not only with the major construction worker, but also with the subs that have to come in there.
Yeah, true opportunities. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of our show, so let me ask you this. Is there any closing comments that you want to share with our viewers today?
Well, just the fact that, we are a small agency, but we want to